What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TK here. Just out here enjoying this beautiful Tuesday evening. Just enjoying this nice little, this weather out here. Pretty nice out here. Well, I want to show y'all something right here, and I know most people don't get this car credit, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, this car impressed me. And this is a last year of this particular body style Corvette, the C4 1996 Corvette. And this is not like a 01, this is not a Grand Sport, this is just a standard Corvette with an LT1. And I mean, look at it, this is a gorgeous car, and it's got these nice polished saw blade wheels, and this color is very unique as well. They call it Polo green. And not gonna lie, when the sunlight hits it a certain way, man, it just pops. Like, I don't know if y'all guys can see it, if the camera can pick it up, but I'll tell you what, oh my goodness, like, this color, it's a gorgeous color. I mean, I know not everybody a big fan of green, but this particular color is very unique. I want to introduce you to somebody special. He's been down to earth with me for many years. This is my buddy right here. His name Micah, longtime friend. He's really big on C4 Corvettes. This car you see right here, this is his dream car, and he's been wanting this car since he was like a kid. So some questions about your car, like what made you get into wanting a Corvette? What sparked the interest in you getting a Corvette?
So at some point when I was a kid, me and my cousins used to talk about it, or when I was growing up, 2, 3 years old, 4 or 5, whatever, just really young age, just see them on the streets. I remember watching at a young age the movie Corvette Summer with Mark Hamill and Andy Potts. Mm-hmm. That kind of helped fuel the fire as well. They say not only that, growing up in the 80s and 90s, as far as like why I love this car, a child of that time when these cars were literally brand new, that's why I love them. To each your own. Reason why that they get to me. I grew up in that generation. I graduated high school in 1996, like literally when this car was made. So, as a graduation present, my parents took me down to the Corvette Museum in '96. I think a week after the very last one was made. And that was like in June. It was like last weekend in June, something like that. It was my first car. The last car was built like on the 21st. We were there like a week later. We couldn't really tour the plant and all that, but just stuff I remember at that time, watching these cars, seeing these cars at Miles Chevrolet when they were brand new. The collector's editions were out. They had a couple of Grand Sports, a couple of base cars like these, like a yellow and a purple and all that. Just remember going to Miles and checking them out with a friend of mine from church. And just sitting in them and feeling the atmosphere of it. Like, man, I like this.
You knew right there from that day on, this was gonna be your car. Yeah, you just knew.
And like I say, these Polo greens, one of the best colors they put on a late C4. That competition yellow, Admiral blue is a good looking color, dark red, but this one's always been the top as far as what I wanted. Being a 96, it is an LT1 automatic car, which that doesn't bother me. It does have the G92 axle, which is what I recommend on a base car. It's not an LT4 6-speed, which some people probably would imagine, hey, why did you get one? I'm not picking the drivetrain, I'm more picking the year and the colors. So, I just got this car at a store today. It's showing less than 36,000 miles, but I'm going to do my best to accumulate,
Get out and just drive it. Like, even like today, seems like you was having a good time out here driving it, so.
Yeah, it needs to be driven more. So, I plan on having a few things done here in a few days, taking the weekend off, and going to be running even better.
Alrighty. Yeah. Like I say, I'm out here enjoying this nice, beautiful Tuesday. Just having a good time, hanging out with my buddy Micah right here, and just taking in the sights of his beautiful C4 Corvette. This car is just as old as I am, 26 years old. I'll be 26 coming up in August. So again, this car is just as old as I am. But Micah, I know people don't appreciate the design aspect of the C4, even though this is a later design. I know the design came out, what, 1991?
Yeah,
but
yeah, they updated it for 91.
Yeah, but this been out since 1984. And actually, if you don't mind, I remember you was telling me you had 2 other C4 Corvettes prior before this one. So let's talk, if you don't mind, can we talk about those other 2?
Yeah, my previous one was a 1990. It was a base coupe, automatic, dark red on tan. I had that car like a little bit over 11 years. I love that car. But then I had an 84 Z51 bronze two-tone car as my first one. I was like 27 years old back when I got it back in 2005. Always loved them. You know, really easy cars to get into financially and all that, which is great. It's a fringe benefit, I guess. But I've always liked the design of them. Always nice, clean, very sleek and aerodynamic. I mean, a lot of people do say about the design aspect of these 4 gens, they look too much like Camaros and this, that. But if you really look at it at different angles, you really can tell the design aspect for aerodynamics and how like the windshield's right at a 64 degrees, which at one point is like the steepest windshield ever produced in the United States of America. You can actually look at certain angles like on the side and how the hood is designed and how the mirrors are, and get a good aspect on the aerodynamics of the car. You know, less resistance and greater the force. I mean, this car has 300 horsepower, but it can do about almost 170 miles an hour because of the aerodynamics. And not only that, when you get aerodynamics, you get fuel efficiency, as well as, you know, the fairly lightweight 3,300 pounds. So this car can get like mid upper 20s on the highway as far as gas mileage.
And that's impressive. Even back in the day, it was doing that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's like people, that's better gas mileage than my truck. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to get good gas mileage in a truck.
You in a vehicle where it sits up higher and you got more resistance with the air, and it's shaped like a box in a way.
And of course, they're heavy.
Yeah.
So sports cars are obviously supposed to be, you know, weight reduction in aerodynamics, less resistance, greater the force. So
that's how it works. That's physics.
That's another reason why I like these cars. They're really fun. Every time I see one going down the road, it's like, you know, I'm starstruck. They're just that great looking cars. I've always like the Targa top. The top comes off. I did that a lot in my other 2 cars. I had it off once since I got it. Hopefully maybe next week, depending on how the weather is, I'm going to try to take it off a few times. Just a fun car.
Oh, we're gonna have nice weather. You should be able to do that. And about the fun aspect of this car, this is a great performance track car and an autocross car. I've seen many people over the years autocross these C4s, even in the earlier variants, and they do some impressive numbers, not just from like again like a record lap time or whatever. No, it's just a fun car to drive, period.
Say that 84 Z51 cars were literally like the first car to nearly pull a 1G in the skid pad. I mean, there's no other car that could come close at that time. That's like almost 40 years ago when they did that.
They was ahead of their time.
Yeah. Now, just about every car out there can literally pull a 1G in the skid pad. So I say these Corvettes were ahead of their time. And it just kind of makes me feel old that this is the last year of the C4 and it's got antique plates on it.
Well, you're not lying about that. I did check out your antique plate you got right there, because you got 78 mid.
Yeah.
Well, you was born in the year 78, so hey, that's explain why.
Yep, late 70s, and it's a simple plate.
Not too much, just subtle, simple.
That plate frame doesn't lie.
All right, everybody, he gonna go ahead and pop open the hood. Like I said, this is not a Grand Sport, and this is not an LT4 car. This is an LT1 automatic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most people don't want a, you know, manual transmission Corvette. They wouldn't mind having a automatic car. And that's how these cars were back then. I mean, this is the last year of this body style, the 1996 model year, and this generation Corvette was the first Corvette or American car ever, or American car in general, to use a clamshell hood. This is even before the Dodge Viper ever came out. So they was doing this since the early 80s with this clamshell hood design. And I'll tell you what, I'm a pretty big fan of it, because look at that. Like, you can see the wheels, you can see like the double wishbone suspension. It's easy to get to certain things. I know over time they kind of like package everything, but that's just the way they design it. It's not as bad as a Camaro or Firebird, you know, with this pretty much the same engine, or even the later variants. They went to the LS design when the C5 Corvette came out, and also those same cars share the same motor. You know, it became more challenging to work on. But this right there with this LT1, I know this engine originally came out in 1992, and it lasted through the rest of the C4 lineup to the last year right here in 1996. Well, folks, I enjoyed today, you know, having a good time. Appreciate you letting me check out the car, Micah.
Hey, anytime, man, anytime.
It's a great car. I'm a big fan of Corvettes. I'll show you right now. I got a C7 Corvette ZR1 shirt. But all right, everybody, I'm about to go and wrap up this video. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, TK Turbo. Y'all have a wonderful day. Until next time.